So this is attempt number 3. Jeez, come on.
I'm already excited for how I'm going to be doing this tonight.
I got a fully charged battery in now. Do you know what I mean? This is.
Why, do you want me to go
Here
like
we
start
go.
making dinner or something while just get some sorted out? I've never been treated so appallingly on a podcast. Unbelievable.
This is the only podcast you bloody been on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
You get it.
Where did we leave off?
So we were talking about originally we were talking about why it doesn't feel like there's as much a sense of not togetherness, because there is people will show love on Instagram, but people don't meet up as much, and obviously because of the obvious, but people don't actually get together, do meetups, and why they aren't meeting up with each other and doing it as well.
Yeah, because like I was saying, because obviously I was saying previously, like as I sort of got better, people fell off. Do you know what I mean? Like as I got better, people started to not like your stuff anymore. Getting featured every 2 seconds, like every other day, I was getting featured. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, is it a bit of resentment, envious going like in it? Because I see it a lot. Because I see a lot of people follow me, use my stuff as examples. Because I see mutual models be like, oh yeah, so and so looked on your page for inspiration, but so and so I've never seen likes my pictures before. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's a bit weird. But then if I put in my story, any photographers want to come shoot abroad, all these people I've never seen before come out of the woodworks and want to jump along. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, you only want to show the fake support when it can benefit you, but other than that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see why photographers, I mean, would want to come out and shoot abroad with you. I'll be honest with you. I've seen, like I said, I've offered to model for you, but I've been turned down a few times now. But I can see, I've seen your shoots out there, and they're brilliant. They're really good. They go out to a good location. It's professionally done. And again, leading back to what we were saying about photographers not doing things together anymore, I think because, oh, hang on a minute. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, brilliant. There you go, brilliant. I'm back. Because photographers, like I said, with meetups, they had a reason to go. They had the model sorted out for them. They had location sorted out. It was just point and shoot, basically. And again, I reckon that's why people come out of the woodwork, just to say, come speak to you and say, I'd love to go on these trips. I'd love to go on that. I'd love to go on this. Because these things are done and those things are sorted. It makes things easier. But, again, photography, for me especially, a lot of people, I've had issues on that front with people using my work for inspiration. If you can, inspiration. And I mean that in the sense, and I spoke about it literally in my story a few days ago, where people had practically taken the same model, same location, same props. Because I did a big project with flowers, and I did big projects with, and it's pretty hard to get all three together, and then not, and just say, oh yeah, no, this is what I've been doing. This is my idea. I was thinking, I understand if you want to use my work for inspiration. I understand if you enjoy my work. That's fine. And you don't have to credit me. You are your own artist, and that's fantastic. But when there's carbon copies out there, you're just sort of like, there's a fine line between inspiration and just that's my work. Someone's literally stuck on like an Epson photocopier and just gone on the ground.
So that's another reason why I stopped shooting here, because I'm just like, I would do something, I'll go find a location, 2 days later someone will come with a different model, the exact same outfit or very similar outfit in the same location, and I'm like, bruh, like, do you know, it's like all the audacity. So I'm just like, at a certain point I just like, forget this, I'm going abroad, and then here we are now, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. People are like, oh yeah, where's that location? Just like
Spain.
Give me a sec, let me get Google Maps up, right? Just send them the location to a nice village in Portugal, somewhere like that.
Uzbekistan.
Yeah, exactly. Anywhere, middle of nowhere. I had to do the same thing. For one of my not this well actually yeah this project the most recent project I did, the Warpath project, used a lot of really unique locations, had a good budget for it, had I don't know if you saw the one with all the military stuff with
Yeah. So
all the you know
yeah,
gear.
yeah.
That was in a central London like one of central London's oldest dance halls, like a ballroom. And it was, and I had people come to me. It was like, oh, where'd you get that location, man? Oh, where'd you pick it up? And I always point people to because where I found the location, fair play. But as soon as people find out that I had to pay for the location, it's just like, oh, okay. And I was thinking,
Yeah,
damn,
exactly.
you were like, so you were gonna use it anyway, but I just sort of think there is a lot of I don't want to say plagiarism. Plagiarism is not the right word, but people using.
Do you know? I think it's laziness because at the same time, it's like we all have the ability to find to find locations. So it's like even not too long ago, like the place I've just shot at, like do you know how many people was just like, oh, where is it? Oh, what studio? This, that, and the third. But when I'm abroad, no one asks me anything. Do you know what I mean? It's just like because they already know that to them, they're not going to go to that effort level to go abroad to do something like that. But if it's here, everyone was just like, oh yeah, where is it? Where's the studio? I'm just like,
yeah.
For one, it's my mate's house. It's like,
I'll be honest with you, right? Unless you want to jump in his DMs and say, yeah, look, and then he'll probably charge you. So like, just don't even worry about it.
Yeah,
I get it. People are the same. People. It's never nice location. I love that location. It's always where
it starts off with that, and then it goes, oh,
where is it?
Collab, let's do this. I was like,
yeah,
never liked a picture since 2018, but yeah, let's collab.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. What's your name again?
Exactly.
Who are you? Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, man.
But it's just I find it weird because now, soon as that number went to double digits, people's changed to it.
That's bad. I should know that. But you're on double digits now.
Yeah, well, I'm on 12.9 now.
Just in case you hear that, I haven't followed him yet. That's it. Oh, we've lost you.
Yeah, I know.
Hiding your very smug grin. The fact you're on 13k.
There we go. But no, because I just find it weird. Like, as soon as it goes to double digits, people's attitude changes towards you. Like December, I was on 7k. I was just like, then by March, I was at 10k.
Yeah.
And then, like, literally, I used to DM venues and hotels and like last year, no reply, left on scene. Soon as I hit 10k, everyone's like, yeah, sure, come through this club. Yeah, come and shoot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I DM villas and away now, and it's just like, yeah, sure, we'll do discount, or yeah, sure, they'll collaborate. And it's like, because my number on it, like my pictures are literally the same.
Yeah, no, that's it. You're consistent. You've done the similar sort of. I don't know what category would you put your work under? I don't want to categorize it because it's not my place to do so.
I'd say, but that's the thing. I'd say mainly, I'd say like implied glamour.
Yeah,
mainly. But then again, when it gets to autumn here, I love autumn colors. So do you know what I mean? So I'll do it. Do you know what I mean?
Your work's always been really like saturated, as in the color wise. Colors, like there's always been very punchy, powerful colors in it.
Yeah,
and I think it's always been consistent. And so you're right in saying that it's been consistently like it's always been good, and it's been consistently good, and it's been consistently of the same caliber, of the same genre. So the only difference, like you say, has changed is the number next to your your video, and then people just start paying attention. And I'm convinced, like I'm not in the we call it the magic letter. Right? I haven't hit the magic number. Would probably be a better way of describing it. I should have thought of that. But I haven't hit the magic 10k, and I doubt I will because I post absolutely sporadically, and also my work is more about I barely post. My work's more about the story behind it than anything. And so I know that only appeals to a certain group of people that like art. and sort of the meaning behind things. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. But I know for certain that only certain types of brands, so a lot of unique aesthetic brands that have and do like unique boutique stuff will approach me. I'll never get approached by like a hotel or a major company or anything like that, because it's not something that a big group of people engage with. Whereas yours reached out to a much bigger market.
But then it's
101 there for you there. I'm gonna start charging for it.
Well, what's I got here? Like, have you had any, I'd say, like, issues in the industry that you've come across?
Yeah. Well,
like with even with other photographers or with models or companies, businesses?
Fortunately, I've never really. Yeah, I like to think of myself as a people person. I like talking to people. You may have noticed. I don't mind. I don't mind talking. But again, I don't really have issues with anyone like that. I've never really been one for sort of that level of confrontation or anything like that. The issues I have had have been, which I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit later, because I remember a little birdie tells me that you're also very keen to talk about it. Is lack of credit where it's due.
Yep.
Yeah, just maybe, yeah. Lack of credit where it's due, and people really not giving art the respect, or at least the fact that even thinking about how much goes into it, and treating it as if once it's on the internet, it then belongs to absolutely anyone. It's fair game completely. And that's been the issue, and that's why I stopped producing such sort of fashion-based commercial portraits, because people were just like using them on stock, no permission whatsoever. And that's the issue I had. And then I had to like sort of just say to people, look, I don't want to be that guy, but I took this. And they're just like, yeah, oh, okay, that's good, it's really nice, well done. I'm like, it's not the point I'm really making. I'm not asking for it. I'm not, right. But yeah, that's been the main issue. That, other than that, is the social media side of it as well. Instagram has been an absolute pitfall of engagement.
I feel like that's killed as well a lot of photographers, like, because it's like at one point I'm just like, when I came back from Greece, which was September, I was hitting 1K likes a picture. Like, I didn't do anything different. I still post in the same periods I'd usually post, but there was like a good month I was getting 1K likes, and then all of a sudden, as of recent, the last 2 months, literally could barely get 250 likes.
Yeah.
From the same set of pictures, actually. So I'm just like, I don't, like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, if it's not gonna, do you know what I mean? It's like, if it's not gonna show your work, it's almost disheartening. It's like, what's the point? Because it's not gonna reach the same amount of people, especially if it's your full-time photographer. If you're not reaching people, which means you're not reaching customers, which means you don't make any money.
Exactly. For people, that's the thing. I've said it for so long now, and I know it's easy to take swipes at big companies, but they make it easy to make swipes at them. They make it easy to promote them because of how they treat little people. Basically, at this point, if you're not doing something organically for Instagram's user friendly, if you haven't got a check mark next to your name, is what
basically that's what I was gonna say. If you haven't got a check mark, then
that's not happening. Not
happening. Or you're taking pictures of
Instagram then. What are you bringing Facebook then?
Yeah.
Well, they no longer need you to bring. They no longer need more and more platform users. They've already got like a billion users.
Exactly.
So they don't need to draw people in. They just need retention. And so with that, they just use the big famous personalities, the Instagram personalities, to maintain a sort of a like constant audience of these influencers and stuff. And that's why you really, unless you are, like I said, doing something for Instagram won't do for you. And what I keep saying is as well to people, TikTok is what for Instagram used to be. I know guys, all right, I'm not going to do any shout outs on here, but I've got a few mates that are relatively doing well on TikTok, and their growth, it wasn't even weeks before they hit like 100K followers. You won't even that, it just skyrocketed out of nowhere, because if you're producing original content just like it used to be for Instagram, then you're going to get somewhere, because they're trying to draw users in. So they're trying to keep people, so everyone gets good engagement. You get put on For You pages, and you get put on Discover pages. Instagram used to be like that. Yeah. Instagram used to have an hour. Oh god, that sounds so cliched. I'm going to sound like such a douchebag photographer. Instagram used to have a half decent algorithm.
Yeah, it did.
But it's the truth. And then they realized, right, we've got the users now. We don't need to draw any more people in. We just need to keep them here, and we need them to get them to spend money. I know. Let's make this algorithm we've got now only accessible if you pay for it.
Yeah.
So unless you're doing paid promotion, or you're one of Instagram's chosen few, it's almost impossible.
But I feel like they've cut it drastically this year since COVID, because you think about it. What's everyone doing at home on their phones? So Instagram's like, oh, here's an idea. Let's cut it even more, because we already know people on their phones got nothing to do. So let's cut it even more. So do you know what I mean? It gives an incentive to now buy more ads, because if everyone's on the brainwave of thinking everyone's at home now. So if you're a business, you're thinking, right, everyone's at home. Let's just shed all the money onto marketing on social platforms, because everyone's at home. So Instagram knows that. So it cuts your bloody even more. You think before COVID, it was all right.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can see it in my work. I don't get nearly as many likes I used to, but a couple of years ago, nowhere near, right? But the bottom line is, even before COVID, I'd pull in about 400 or 500 likes a picture, a decent amount of comments. People would see my work. And the frustrating thing is, I'm putting so much time now. I'm putting more time than I ever have done into my work.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm my own job and my own art than I ever have been.
Yeah.
But it's like they're like passing ships. And while the love of my work goes up,
exactly.
The love I see for my work goes down.
That's exactly how I'm feeling, because I'm like, I'm here traveling bloody continents and that. Like, literally.
You're fucking the Bear Grylls of photography.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just doing portraits all over Europe. But Instagram's giving you nothing back. Oh, hello. You good?
Yeah, this third-party battery has...
Is it gone?
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll keep the people entertained while you do a quick transfer. Wait, you've got some left, right?
I got some on charge.
So yeah, excuse these technical difficulties. This
is literally the most shambles live stream I've ever done.
Yeah, this is and that's just me after November. That's just me looking the way I do. Jesus. Yeah. Also, just a small little announcement. I apologise for the state of my trim. I didn't get. I missed the boat when it came to lockdown and getting to the barbers. So I currently look like. Well, you come up with your own opinions. I'm not going to say it because it breaks my heart to see the fact that my hair is now like a 6 all over. It's literally like a number
6 all over. You know,
it's like I'm wearing a wig.
Do you know what? If any of these batteries die again, I'm just gonna hear my voice for the rest of this.
Okay, they can sit and stare at my beautiful tired face. Sorry to hear that, guys.
You know, as soon as you have video on, my batteries will last. Like literally, that one battery has lasted me my whole shoot yesterday. Right. As soon as I've got video on, it lasts me 10 minutes.
Jesus Christ. What am I? So I'm doing this off my Mac, and my Mac is bleeding battery life.
So I don't know how much this has got left, but
And I don't even know what my Mac's spending the battery on. Like, it's not camera quality. That's for fucking sure. It's not the. I've got like a ring light plugged in via USB. I'm using my phone just to light my face.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway,
I say I give it 5 minutes before this flashes red. So
okay. All right. Let's keep talking, and what happens, and we'll turn this into a radio show if need be.
Exactly, if it need be, an actual podcaster.
Yeah, not a live stream. We'll do a proper one. We'll get an animator in and everything.
Exactly, but
right.
yeah. Let's might as well dive into, as we spoke on it earlier, the copyright issues, because I feel like that's an issue we definitely need to get into, because there may be photographers even watching this or models watching this that just think an array of different things. But in the UK anyway, obviously the laws elsewhere are going to vary, but the UK, if the photographer takes the pictures, guys, I think we need to like proper look at Ben. Look at Ben for must be those expandable batteries.
Oh, mate.
No, literally, I have one of those. I just put one of those expanded batteries in, and I had to take it back out because it just.
I'm surprised the last one didn't go, man. I'm surprised your camera's still working.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm not putting no third-party batteries back in my camera again.
That's right. Hang on, we've lost you.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like mostly with a copyright, the photographer holds the rights to the images, and I think a lot of people, when I put my story up not long ago, like there's like a good 95% of people got that wrong. Thinking like,
I think with photography and so many people getting together and doing it, TFP.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing is so ambiguous around it that people don't know about intellectual copyright. People don't know about this. People don't read into that. They read into if they like the photo or not.
Yeah. But it's a thing. It's like models think that they own it if they are models think they own it if they paid for it, or if it's a collab then it's joint, and it's just like no, it doesn't matter if it's paid or not. And that's the funny thing is, right, when you go on holiday, like if you're with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, you go on holiday and you know when you take a picture and you're struggling and someone comes along and goes, oh, do you want me to take that for you? Technically, that person owns that picture of you two. Doesn't matter if that's on your device.
You're there, yeah. You're in the office, like showing off your holiday snaps. You're like the Algarve. The police come busting in, like, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. We've got a court order here from Dave from Turkey. He's saying he met you on holiday at the villa at the resort, and he's saying he wants his photo back.
Exactly. Because imagine if you got famous or something, and someone goes, "Well, I took that picture."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, yeah. It's easily doable though. Because there's so many ambiguous parts to it, especially social media. Again, I know we could come back to it, but social media rose so quickly out of nowhere that the laws weren't put in place to keep up with it.
But I think they were all there, because when I look at the act, right, of photographers keeping on copyrights, which everyone can Google right now, it was like 1938 or something like that. So I'm like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's always been there. Like even 1938 is not that long ago, to be fair. Like that's not even that long ago. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's always been there. And the fact that big companies don't know that. Like I had literally yesterday, I had a model yesterday saying that, her agent said that she couldn't sign my release form because it says that she doesn't hold any rights and it's for promotional purposes. I'm like, first of all I'm doing is relaying the copyright law. I'm not making up laws. It's basic copyright law. All this is doing is letting you know that you don't have any rights to the images. And because she said if it's for commercial promotional that she would need to be paid for it. I'm like, if we did a collab and then I used that as promo for whatever trip or next event that I do, it would have been the same thing. Like I would have used the pictures the exact same way. So it doesn't matter. Like you never held any rights, because her agent was basically saying that because she doesn't own the pictures, she doesn't want her to sign it. I'm like, you never held any rights to the pictures anyway. Like whether you sign this or not, you hold no rights to the images. And I feel like obviously a lot of people need to know what they're getting into. This is why I always say to models, make sure when you're doing shoots that if this image gets out in 10 years, you don't mind that the image gets out. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not going to be bothered by it, because anything you've shot with a photographer, you don't own. Unless they've, with a legal document,
but unless you specify,
signed it, signed over the rights to you, which has to be signed like an actual document, then you don't own any of your pictures. So don't shoot stuff you're going to regret. Do you know what I mean? 2 weeks from now.
100%. There is, unfortunately, again, some people, when they're starting to get into modeling and stuff like that, when they start and they get into this stuff, it's literally just like, you don't think that far ahead. You don't think this far ahead. And then it's a shame. It's difficult to put it. I personally believe there's also a moral element to it as well, where photographers, while there is a contract, I don't believe photographers should if a model really isn't happy with some work, especially if it's nude or implied nude and like that, and really isn't happy with it, I think there should be a line morally where you need to not, or at least come to an agreement that it doesn't get used, or it doesn't actually surface anywhere. Because if someone really hates it that much, then, and they doesn't feel comfortable about it, then maybe don't. But again, a lot of people aren't like that. Some photographers aren't like that. Some businesses aren't like that. They don't care what you think.
Exactly.
They're going to be like, well, we're going to use it because we want to. And that's why you're right. It's so important to know what you're signing and know what you're getting into when you start out, when you're taking especially maybe uncomfortable pictures, or pictures that you don't know how you feel about, that you know exactly what they're going to be used for.
Recently I had a business company. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. If you haven't, go do that. I'm way more active on there. But I had a company use my my images, and basically we kicked up a storm. Like I think that happening made me realize that there's somewhat sense of community. Because when I posted that, obviously you posted it, there was a bunch of other photographers posted it, there was a bunch of models posted it, and then there was a crap ton of models in the comments of that post as well. And like they got loads of DMs from other models as well, and then, do you know what I mean? Just like
good.
But I only personally think that they responded because of that. If there was if I was a much smaller photographer and there was no one DMing them, they would have ignored that.
Yeah, of course.
And I probably would have had to gone to court.
Look, I mean, the bane and dread of every photographer's life is small claims court. It is, who the hell is going to be able to, if we're arguing over the fact that they've used their picture for social media, right? Hang on. If they're arguing over the fact that we're arguing over the fact it's been used for social media, the likelihood is we don't have the funds to be going to fucking small claims court. The likelihood is we haven't got the teams of legal people they have on their side. The bottom line is, if we're doing that, we're arguing that, then of course they're just gonna be like, yeah, sure, let's go to court. Let's just trounce you in court. The thing that companies are most afraid of, and as this very situation proved, is social media backlash.
Yep.
It is mob mentality. Companies are afraid of people amassing at their front door on social media. Their brand image. The first point of calling a lot of people see is the company's social media, and then seeing negative comments about how they're hurting creatives in the community is gonna kill them.
Because that's the thing, is like at that time we're just like, that's the same thing where the whole post was going around with creatives finding another job. That was the exact same time as that coming out, and then they just stole my image. I just like, you could have picked a worse time.
Yeah, in the middle, and I said it. I commented on that post in the middle of a pandemic. You decide in the middle of a lockdown. You decide that perhaps and it's not even like it was just a random image they found. They knew it was the best image they had out there.
Exactly, because the other ones were selfies of people with burger stuff in it.
Exactly, they put it as a centerpiece. They knew it was a marketable piece of work because they put it as the first image that people were going to see. And so I don't understand.
And they used it for a marketing campaign.
You're joking me?
Yeah, because it was a competition that they used it for.
Oh yeah, of course. You're right. Yeah, of course, yeah. No, exactly. If any post is going to draw people in, it's free shit. So if that's going to be a massively performing piece of like a post on social media and they're not giving you the creds for it, then you have every right to be upset, of course. And again, it comes back to companies treating people like, art is just whatever's on social media. If it's on social media, it's no longer art. It's no longer. You wouldn't take someone's song.
This is exactly what I said. I said it's the exact same thing as music industry. You wouldn't take a song, write it, and expect not to get sued. Like when you put it out, like it's the exact same copyright laws.
If you started you uploaded this to YouTube, and you had in the background playing an absolute banger of a tune, it would get washed up, taken down straight away because it's intellectual property of someone else.
Yeah,
the same concept goes. It's a creative's intellectual property and source of income, and you deny that of them when you don't give them the correct credit. By
the way, I got my battery is flashing red again.
I'm leaving if it happens again. I can't do it.
They can hear my voice. They can hear my voice.
We've got a question from Ben. I don't know if you've seen it. No.
Yeah, so I said, I wonder if agencies models will pay for a license to use the photo for promotional purposes when every photographer is getting release form signed, which is true, because like if they're saying that for us they can't sign it because it's been used for promotional purposes, like when they put it on their modeling, their agency's site for promo to where models to get booked, do you know what I mean? So should they not be paid? It goes both ways. Do you know what I mean?
Again, in reality you step back, and as your story proved, no one has a bloody clue how it works.
No.
Not the companies that are getting these photos, people that haven't taken photos of them, or the photographers themselves. And it's really important that people sort of educate if they're gonna get into professionally doing this for a sum of money, that like how these photos can and where they go, who they belong to, how they can be used, that kind of stuff is important, because you wouldn't I don't know, for example, go into a profession without knowing what you were doing. You wouldn't go into a profession without knowing the legal terms behind it, like in case something went wrong. And so it's important, I think, that people really educate themselves on how it can work, unless you're doing it really. But it even really applies for this. But if you're doing it just for fun, just meeting up and with model friends and shooting and getting some testing work done, and but again, it can be used anywhere on social media. So I mean, again, you really need to know where it's going and what can be done with it.
Yeah, it's just it's a sticky one, because a lot of models were like, just relaying the law, and a lot of models were like, oh, that's not fair, this is not fair, blah. I'm like, but I'm in the image. I'm like, I'm just the messenger. I didn't make the law. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think it woke a lot of some people up, because it's just like, oh, I've shot such and such, because a model was literally complaining to me about another photographer that I think we mutually know, but that they used an image of her, and it was obviously like a nude photo or whatever, and she was saying, obviously, like, like she didn't want them to use it, but they still did, and she thought that she had some sort of grounds to stand on. I'm like, no, they can do you know what I mean? They can use it. And I've had there was literally another instance where a photographer actually said, oh no, I won't use this for my magazine or whatnot, or for OnlyFans or whatever it was. And it was, this is a full nude shoot. Do you know what I mean? Like, the model wasn't comfortable with, like, she would have shot nude, but obviously for Instagram it would obviously have been blurred out or whatever it is for Instagram or whatever. But the person used the uncensored for their magazine and published it. she obviously like tried to go to police and lawyers, and they're like, you can't do anything because he owns the photo. But even that, she has actually messages and had voice notes of the photographer saying, "Oh yeah, I won't use it." But
I mean, that's
the word is not. Do you know what I mean?
contractually
Yeah, exactly. It's not just because they say something. 'Cause
that's
even
the thing
and
is, that's what I believe. In my personal opinion, I know it's a grey area, but I believe that needs to change. I honestly believe that models should have more autonomy over their work and their own image. They really should. Because again, when you're working with an agency, when you're working with anyone really, and you're doing shoots for paid, you're professionally working as a model. You do shoots that aren't your ideas. They aren't what your idea of a good photo is, but you do it because it's professional, and you do it because you're a professional model, and you do what other people's ideas are. But when it comes down to it, it's someone's image. Like it's who they are. I genuinely believe that if someone isn't really comfortable with it being out there, there needs to be some sort of process where we can.
But you know what it is? It's just a thing of all model. Because the thing is, I don't do shoots now without a model release form. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, well, obviously, if it's like a collab, I don't do. Well, actually, it's not even a collab. Like I just don't do without there being terms and conditions set of where the pictures are going and where they're going to be used. I'm not doing the shoot. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of models need to know that and not just get happy that they're getting free pictures and go along to the shoot and just, do you know what I mean? Because
there needs to be more. There needs to be more talk about it. Definitely, there needs to be more.
But that's the thing. If agencies don't even know, agencies think that they own the photos. Like, oh, our models in it, and like that doesn't mean anything. So it's like even if agencies don't even know, and do you know what I mean? Like not even small agencies either. So it's like, so how did we expect the models to know if they're not even passing on that information?
Exactly. No one's making models aware that of again, as I say, it's physically an image of themselves. Like it is them. They are the product, as it were. They are the service, and they are not being. What's the word? They're not even having any idea of what can be done with this and what can be used, what this image can be used for, and then it comes out, as you said. I don't know. Have you heard the story about Emily Ratajkowski? Emily Ratajkowski story, where when she was just starting out, did a shoot with this photographer. And he did it was a nude shoot, and he made like three whole books out of this nude shoot he did with Emily Ratajkowski. And she hated every single shot. She felt really uncomfortable. It was really she said she did a whole article on it and how it affected her. And it really woke me up to realize that this is an image of someone. This is someone's personality and identity that we're taking images of here. And that's why I believe that models should have more autonomy over it, and more. There should be, because I know, right, once a photographer has taken an image of it and they've paid for the model, that the property of the image then belongs to them. It's up to them what they do with it. But when it's down the line, some models are literally just sort of like, I don't like this image anymore of me. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable. It really is a traumatizing thing to have it out there. I don't like it. And that's when I believe that they should have the right to say, I don't like it being out there. Can we work to remove it legally? And then an arrangement needs to be come to. But how we go about doing that, I don't know.
And that's the thing. The only way I think that's going to happen is, like, I don't know. Like the only way I see it happening is if, again, models see a release form from the photographer that says where the images are going to be used and like how they're going to be used, and then obviously, do you know what I mean? So there's clear, because like mine's very clear. Mine says it's going to be used for promotional use, obviously across website or whatever the case may be. And obviously, if it's a model that doesn't do OnlyFans, I have one that says these images will not be used on OnlyFans or sites like that. And then obviously, if it's a model that does do it, obviously it'll just take that bit out. But mine's just very clear where they're going or not going, so it gives a sense of like a peace of mind. Whereas it's almost like, and the thing is, it's weird because I get a lot of hesitation, girls some girls anyway, signing a release form.
Mm.
But I'm like, you do know this all applies. If you just turn up for the shoot.
Yeah, that's the thing. In a way, it's good that you do it because it's concise enough to have actually someone explaining instead of agencies not really explaining. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me exactly the same. It always seems to be creative industries that are affected by this. It reminds me of young musicians being taken advantage of by their label.
Yeah.
Right? In the same sense of these musicians are, they've got all of a sudden a big tasty deal put out in front of them with a label.
Mm-hmm.
They've got something nice and like a big label's just come up to me and said, "Oh, they want me to be part of their group." They have no idea about the legal ins and outs, no idea about who owns what and who owns the rights and the masters and that kind of stuff. And then before you know it, their work, they've played a massive part in, if not every single element is theirs, no longer belongs to them because some piece of paper says, you don't have, so some of the biggest selling artists ever only started making money like 5-10 years into their career because the labels were just constantly taking and taking and taking, and artists didn't, a lot of, especially young independent artists that I know, a lot of bands had no idea about how the system worked, then found out all of a sudden that they had no power whatsoever over their own work. No power. And it's the same in photography, is that people, I don't think, know how much power they don't have over their own image, and that needs to be talked about, basically.
I mean, it's a see, that's with models. With companies, I got no sympathy for them because they love to take photographers' work, post it with minimum, at least credit the photographer. Minimum, that's what they could do. But all these brands and the big brand, I'm not going to say their names before I get, you know what I mean? But these big, these clothing brands, that's why I just like, especially when I go abroad, like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like these luxurious villas that I get and the beach, the sunset, and then I've gone all that way to do that, and then this bikini brand thinks they're just going to post my stuff. Like a multi-million-pound companies.
Yeah.
That could chuck me £100 a post. Do you know what I mean? Like minimum. That's nothing for them.
Their marketing budget's the size of a small country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet, if it comes to paying for just a license for a photo, not happening. And
that's just weird because they'd rather iPhone photos reposted than just invest in like one photographer to go and take their stuff professionally. But they would rather just take someone's instead and hope for the best that they don't get sued, which 99% of the time they don't.
No, it's again, they haven't got any sort of, it would be so much easier for them to have an in-house photographer.
Yeah,
and then exactly. And wouldn't even have to be paying for rights, wouldn't have to be paying for this, wouldn't have to be paying, for, well, they don't at the moment, because you're right, they just repost people's iPhone photos.
But I think that's the thing is, because even if they do get called out, most photographers are happy with just being credited. I'm like, no, we need to be fighting for getting paid for what we do.
Instagram has made sure, social media has made sure that photography is now just fair game to people, which is a hobby.
Yeah.
Like to companies, to organisations, it's a hobby. They don't see it as a reputable market or a reputable financial investment, because they know that their photo, if they do repost a photo, they'll just take it down and then do it again somewhere else, and they'll do it with someone else's work. And there's and if, unless you want to, like you say, unless you want to go through the legal battle and like that, they'll take it down because they know they won't face any repercussions afterwards. So, and how many people's work do they repost and then not tag anyone, not and not say this and not say that, and they know they're not going to face any battle for it because of the costs around it, the financial implications. I know what you mean.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna overcome it. I just feel like there's
Mm.
I don't know. I thought we need a sense of community back because where we can, do you know what I mean?
Def-
Like we can spread all of this to new photographers and even existing photographers that messaged me and didn't know half of that stuff. So it's like
yeah,
I think we definitely need some sort of community back.
we
Because obviously my phone broke, so obviously I walked in the sea with my phone. But
as you do.
like, how are the groups that were there like already, like from the ones that I was in before? Are like active still, or
No, no, of course, no. Depends. I wish they were. I wish the WhatsApp groups. I wish the Instagram groups, and even though some of them used to be engagement group chats, I don't even care if they're not that anymore. I just think it's good for photographers, models, and people in that makeup artists, that kind of stuff, to be communicating, to be keeping each other up to date with what's going on, and to be there to help each other out, especially people that are just starting out. It's good to have people that have been doing it for a long, long time, trying to guide you at least. That's what we had. That's what we started out with. Or even if we didn't have people guiding us, we were all in it together. Excuse the cliche, but we were literally all doing it, learning at the same time and sharing what we knew with each other. We don't have that anymore because, well, we don't need it anymore, fortunately, because I just last week learned how to take a photo properly. And literally, we had so many people with us that are now off doing their own things. But unless we're out of the loop, it doesn't seem to have transferred on to this next sort of wave of photographers.
I don't know, like but I only positive I see of COVID is like when it's fully done, which I bet it better be next year because if I don't get on a plane, I'm gonna lose my mind. But whenever it decides to die down, I think there'll be an influx of meets wanting to happen.
I will certainly be doing my part to get the community going again. I, being isolated like this, being in a state of unknowing for so long, has definitely led me to realize that we take a lot of people's company and a lot of being around people that inspire us for granted. Really do, and also not just that, being able to have the freedom to do what we want to do as well.
Yeah.
We take that for granted like crazy. It's so important that we realize how lucky we are to be able to create what we do, create and be the creators we want to be.
Do you know I blame Ben. Ben is in here. When's the next meetup happening, Ben?
Oh yeah, you guys is that still going?
Lens Minds, that's it.
Lens Minds, is that? I don't know. I haven't seen it in a little while. I don't know if you guys are, setting up any meets. But if you are, invite me. I need to learn how to take a photo again.
we need Lens Minds to.
That's it. You guys need to start the movement again.
Exactly. Revive it. Get the reviver out.
We can, and you can charge charge what, 10 quid for special guest appearances. And
ask Alex.
We'll make sure we do that. And like I said, we can bill ourselves on the VIP list for an extra 50 quid.
If you need models, the only benefit of my followers is if I put up there's a free shoot, you'll be tons of models coming. There'll be a ton.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Whenever I cast for my projects, I get a lot of, because obviously it's for me as well. I tend to do it TFP my projects, and it's just I always get an influx of people saying let's put this together, and it really makes me realize I'd love to actually work with them all, and I just haven't unfortunately got the opportunity to do so because I haven't got the time. But again, if I could just direct them to somewhere there was a meetup, there was a page going, they're saying you want to get started in it, let's go. This is let's get this going again. Then that'd be fantastic, man.
Yeah, I think once this lockdown eases, I definitely think you should do.
Are we saying that live on air? Are we gonna make a pact here? Is this what we're
saying? I think we should make a pact.
Well, we should do this.
Are Yeah, once it just eases up, I definitely think. I mean,
Exactly.
are you? I'll put this very vaguely. Hope you catch it. Are you a pandemic believer or a plandemic believer?
Oh, I am not getting drawn into that conversation. I refuse. Not on a live platform. Not not where my words last forever. I'm not getting drawn
Oh
into that
man,
conversation. I let's put it this way. I
because
hope
does meats count as work? If we charge everyone £1,
a
then it's
charitable
work.
donation
Then it's
to, to
work. If we charge everyone £1.
to get me a nice pair of them turtle beaches. Terrible, so I can set up and we can do these things even more properly.
That's legal because it's
But
work.
yeah. How many we allowed in the same place? Doesn't it have to? It has to be an audio visual production, does it not? So we
No,
have.
it can still be shooting.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Right.
But I mean, I do video and photos
That's what I'm
anyway.
saying. That's what I'm saying. So just film it. Just
Yeah,
walk
exactly.
around with an iPhone, just like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And everyone and it's paid, so it's work.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. When you put it that way, it's basically
It's,
a workshop.
exactly, it's a workshop. That's what we're calling it.
That's
The
yeah.
£1 workshop.
The £1 workshop. Fucking hell. What
Come and
is
get your portfolio updated for
it?
£1.
£1. Bring your shiniest English pound, your finest English currency, and we'll give you what we'll take a headshot on like Android Snapchat.
Yeah, I think that's a plan.
It
That's
needs
a
to be.
plan.
It needs to be. We need to, especially when this is all over. I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to hold you to that. We're going to get one of these set up again, and we'll get as many people as we can down, especially with the old guys. I don't want to call them old guys. I mean, basically are now. But I'd love to get people together again, and a sense of community back, as you say, and a sense of just being creatives together. Oh, we've lost you completely.
Yeah, I know. To be fair, that one's flashing red for a very long time. I'm
I bet
impressed. But that
we
was the official Canon battery that lasted that long. So do you know what I mean? That was official Canon battery.
hang on.
Yeah, I put my other battery in.
All right. Okay. Where's the phantom battery?
See, these bad boys, you need one of these guys, official Canon batteries, because that lasted on red for literally 30 minutes.
Yeah, as I was saying before, I have one battery in total, one Sony battery ever, and everyone always, especially people that also shoot Sony, say to me, "What are you doing? How do you survive?" And then I have to remind them that I don't shoot any video and that I can pretty much last on a battery for about 3 days because I'm taking no hyperlapses, no long exposures. It's just portraits in a field somewhere. Sweet, that's it.
Yeah.
Have you charged your battery, Ryan? Yeah, I did it last week.
I remember those good old days of DSLRs when
Ah,
you didn't even have to worry about. You charged it about once a month, man.
yeah.
I literally don't even remember charging up one of those batteries.
It was the equivalent. It was the equivalent of
A Nokia.
the old Nokia, like the old Nokia 6610, like the old brick phone Nokia.
Yeah, man. Like when I had the 62, that thing lasted for ages.
Seriously, and that's the thing. And they say I've got no battery, but they say at the top they've got like 1% left. 1% is about a week's
Yeah.
worth of shooting.
When I didn't even care when it got to like 20%. That's 4 shoots.
Yeah, that's it. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you could take the battery out. It doesn't even need one. It runs
Exactly. It runs off what's in the system from the battery.
Yeah, exactly. It maintains. It hangs. It's got life support in there. Whereas
hilarious.
Sony, the batteries are literally just like. I'm not going to go into it because I know Sony people that shoot video on Sony, and everyone complains about the battery life, and they just die almost as soon as you start shooting.
Well, hello. Have we not noticed? Video. It dies literally every 2 seconds.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to part 6 of this
Exactly.
of this podcast. I hope you're
Part
enjoying
9.
it. You know what you should do? Just stitch it all together and just monetize it. Put advert breaks in between all the parts. Just
Yeah.
break.
to break it up a bit. But yeah. So how's lockdown treating you? Like, are you full time photography?
Look at me, man. Take a long, hard look at my face and ask if you think lockdown's been treating me well. Yeah, no, I'm right. So, small little update. I actually, my full-time job was, emphasis on the was there, a digital marketing executive. So I worked for a firm in central London, used to work for a firm in central London, doing digital marketing. I was basically the everything social media guy for a firm. Unfortunately, the company that I worked for specialized in one thing, which was luxury office interiors.
You can't make this up.
No,
oh snap! Luxury. Oh
yeah,
boy.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I said, I do the marketing thing. You know, it's luxury office interiors. This desk is the best desk you will ever own. It goes up and down, literally. and I got into the industry. Like it's a massive market. I got into marketing for that firm about November time. I left my old job, got a sort of a better paid job in Old Street for this firm, and I was working with them. It was all going absolutely brilliantly, and then people stopped using. Oh yeah, that's right. No one in the entire world all of a sudden was not using an office.
Yeah.
Everyone stopped using an office, and we were just sort of like, this probably isn't good, is it? This is you've got the entire nation, the entire like the city, HSBC, UBS, these massive, huge buildings in the centre of London. No one was using. No one. All the contracts were just. Yeah, it was full. So I lost my job there. Unfortunately, made redundant. And so at the moment, fortunately, I'm more than able to get by, but also photography plays such a big part in my life that I can fall back on it. Whether it's professionally or not, I've always got a project to put together and always got people interested in its development, which is good. And as I say, I'm always building towards another exhibition. I finished my most recent project just before lockdown, lockdown 2. I did in the very small window that we got, I did my first project, my Warpath project, in between lockdowns 1 and 2, scraped in. Yeah. And then, other than that, it's been, I don't know. I love talking to people. I love being around people. I like socializing. I like being an extrovert. It's a bloody nightmare for me to be locked up and cooped up in one place. And because, as you know already, but I'll talk about it a little bit. Photography for me was a big part of mental health issues. Photography was a big part of battling anxiety and depression and all those other, those kind of things. And it's a big outlet for me. It was a way of expressing all the things going around inside my head. And because of that, lockdown, again, it's like a double-edged sword. It really is. It's not only has it taken away photography in a sense of my job, in a sense of financial income, but in regards to mental health and regards to it being an outlet I have, is gone again. So I've had all this taken away, and it's just now a case of finding new ways of making my photography about the things that are accessible to me. Fortunately, I'm in about zone 96 in out here in Enfield.
You're far, man. You're seriously far.
Yeah, I know. I haven't got a tube station. I'd noticed I was
That's
far.
mad.
I had literally, what is it? So I'm right on the edge of London. I've got parks. I've got huge sort of almost forest areas where I can get out and do photography there. and shoot locally. But again, it's lockdown has been for many people, including myself. It takes people's livelihoods away. It takes people's jobs away. It takes people's livelihoods away. And while, again, I'm not getting into the details of it. I'm not gonna go into this and that and this and that. But on a mental health side, it has hurt people, and it has definitely affected how I go about my life.
Yeah, it's especially like because it's like for me because I can't travel. That's my thing. I like to travel. I can't. Like, do you know how long I feel like I've been in this country?
I constantly have tabs open on Expedia and Skyscanner.
Like, but the thing is, it's weird because it's like you can fly, no one's stopping you, but your flight might get cancelled, or the other country you're going to might go into lockdown. So then it's just like,
you want
to? Because I literally right now I'm meant to be in Ibiza, literally right now.
Right, I will. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. I really am.
And then the week before that, actually, anyway. Like literally the week before, I'm meant to be in Paris, and then the Thursday before last week, I was literally about to buy the tickets, and then all of a sudden, announcement, France is going into lockdown, and their lockdown's different. They need permission, like a written permission that they need to leave their house. Like, it's not just us where Boris says you can't come out and everyone's like, yeah, okay, Boris, and we still go out. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like,
literally just like having barbecues and shit like that.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
look, I'll put it this way. You're not the only one. First of all, I had a whole trip planned with the model, whole trip to Paris, like 4 or 5 solid days to Paris. Just didn't happen. Just literally, I had to almost like beg Eurostar to get the ticket money back. It took them about 2 months to actually give me any compensation for a train they had to cancel. They had to cancel. I was like, "Why? What's taken so long? You have failed to provide me with a service that you offered." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we just have to figure out all the legal proceedings." I'm like, "Come again? What legal proceedings?" And again, I was supposed to be in Norway, in Tromsø, in a village, literally in northern Norway. Small little stupid story for you that you're probably gonna absolutely rip the piss out of me for. So I booked this trip to Norway. I was thinking this is gonna be the bollocks. I'm going right to the Northern Lights. I'm gonna take it all in. I'm gonna shoot long exposures. I'm just gonna really get away and be with myself, be at peace, meditate a lot. I'm gonna be, get my mental health in check. Brilliant. Can't wait. Booked it all. I was like, yeah, brilliant. When I come back, we're not quarantining anyone from Norway. That'd be fantastic. Can't wait. People are coming in and just going about their business as soon as they come back. Book the flights, book the hotels. Of course, the flights are non-refundable. Remember that little fact for the end of the tour. So flights are non-refundable. Hotel, fortunately, was. I slightly forgot to incorporate or consider one small fact. And that was that when I checked our government's guidelines for people coming into Norway, people coming from Norway, I may have slightly forgotten to check Norway's requirements on people coming into their country. And so I was like, oh yeah, I probably should have a look at that. I'm sure it'll be fine. I checked their national website, their government's health website, and I was like, I'm bearing in mind I was meant to be there for 4 or 5 days. They are requiring people from the luscious and healthy land of the United Kingdom to self-isolate and have somewhere to self-isolate for a minimum of 10 days. No matter if they test positive or not. If you're coming in, you're staying in a hotel for 10 days. I was like, that's it. I'm not booking a hotel for 10 days to be locked down in a hotel for 10 days. So I had to lose out on the flight money to Norway.
So that basically means you would basically have to, because it's lockdown, so you actually have to stay in the hotel for 10 days to prove that you don't have it.
and I'd have to get room service for 10 days.
That's mental.
And they'd have to like leave it outside the front. And so basically they were like, I didn't, because it's my fault, because I completely forgot to check. But I literally, I was like, this can't be happening. I thought, okay, right. It's been about 4 or 5 hours. I'll cancel the hotel flights. That'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be refundable within 24 hours. The airline's cancellation policy was 2 hours after the booking. 2 hours.
What kind of scam?
What the hell is that all about?
Airline was no? That's hilarious.
How much of that is because I think they must have been losing so much money to cancel.
They probably changed it.
They were literally just like, right, if this guy hasn't cancelled within the 5 minutes, we're taking that as a definite. We're taking that. We're taking the money's coming to us. I don't care. And so I missed out on that beautiful, beautiful trip. I did manage to get out to Scotland. I went with it, so it's completely within lockdown laws and rules. I managed to make my way to the Scottish Highlands. Have you ever seen James Bond?
Mm.
You ever seen Skyfall? The one where he travels and he's with
at the end.
At the car in the Scottish mountains. He's in those mountains where they shoot up the house. That's where I went. I went to that area of Scotland, right up in the Highlands. And I tell you, when you say you miss travel, you don't realise. You think you've missed travel now. You'll realise how much you've missed travel when you actually start travelling again. And I got there and I was like, I don't want to go. I can't go back to that mundane circus of wake up, go for a walk, and then socially distance, see a few mates, go back to bed, and when I got to Scotland I was just sort of like, I can't wait to be doing this again. I totally get you. We need to wait as soon that's what we'll do. We'll host the first meetup in the Algarve or in Mallorca or something.
Because
our first meetup, we'll do that.
I've had 3 trips in a row cancelled. I was meant to be in Greece literally the week before they went into lockdown, and it's like you have to take a test. I'm like, I'm not paying hundreds of pounds for a test. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then I can't expect the models to pay an additional, do you know what I mean, £200 as well. And then it's just like, but luckily the Airbnb lady was very nice, and she moved it to next year. So next year, March, I have accommodation. So
what you're saying is, if we're not out of this by February, you're starting a revolution.
Yeah, basically.
You're marching on down.
Expect a GoFundMe link for money for that trip. But then after that, I was meant to be in Paris, and then I had the model lineup I had for Paris. Mate.
No words from this man.
No words. And you know, it was such a perfect trip. Had the perfect Airbnb. Like, it was, oh man, it looked so nice. And all the models were available on those specific dates. I was there for 4 days. All the models were available for those 4 days.
Yeah.
When does that ever happen? When do all models that don't know each other, for one, and then they're all free in the same period of time, and they're the quality of the model is just
All right, it happens when you can't make the shoot. That's when it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm thinking, something's got to happen, and then literally the next day, France lockdown. I was like, are you joking? And then obviously, I meant to be in Ibiza now, but they cancelled those tickets like 2 months ago. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. The bottom line is, all right. At some point, God knows when this is all over, I'm just gonna start. I think I'm gonna start interrailing. I think I'm just gonna get trains across the world, and I'm gonna start doing vlogging, and I'm gonna become I'm gonna start like a whole travel page, and then because no one's paying me for my portraits anymore, and I'm gonna get this whole thing started up. And to be honest, this whole thing has made me realize how much I take life, being able to live a normal life, for granted.
But that's the thing. I've never understood why people don't travel a lot. Like, do you know how cheap it is? Like, to go to Malaga. I love going to Malaga. Like, the last location that I went to, when I had like the waterfalls and stuff in my stories and whatnot. Like, that ticket was like 23 quid.
Return.
Yeah, return.
Literally.
I'm just like, why don't people? Like, I just don't. I don't get why people don't travel more. I'm just like, I'm sick of London. I don't understand how people can stay here for years, not go anywhere, or just go on one holiday a year and
It's
then just not travel, or just stay. I can't. I can do 4 weeks. That's my tolerance for London, and then I need to release somewhere. Like I need to go somewhere.
yeah, the air pollution in your lungs is just
Yeah, exactly.
you need to get that all out. It's literally I'm the same. I'm the same. It's I love London. Don't get me wrong. London's my home, and there's so many parts of London. To Scott can listen to me. I sound like fucking visit London. Um, yeah, it's yeah. Let's go, Ben. Um, look, London is great. London for me has been the home of literally has been the home of locations, of course, because I live here, but also
Mm.
because it's filled with so many different types of locations, from Richmond Park to the cobbled streets of Shoreditch of East
Can't
London.
forget Barbican. That's the #1 photographer spot.
Yeah, we don't do that here. Okay, we're don't bring up that trauma for me. Okay, just go, just just grab these fairy lights out of this cage. Yeah.
Off to Barbican we go. Get a prism.
Oh, right. Oh, do you know, I was thinking about this. Remember the smoke grenade incident? I was thinking about that.
That's hilarious. See, that's the thing. That's the last time that we was all together. That incident. If you think about it, that's the last time we was together.
I was putting down a good pace in a pair of Oxford shoes. That was like I was in a pair of like high heel Oxford shoes. It sounded like the Grand National was running down Barbican. Had like the horses fucking running down, clip clop, clip clop. I was running along in my boots.
The way we all just ran, that was hilarious, man.
I mean, to be fair to us, we had balls. Like that was a ballsy move in the center of, and we like set off like the entire fire.
It was like 2-3 bombs as well. It wasn't even just one.
It weren't even like one of the short ones either. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was like a big, nothing like like suspicious and like that. It was a big orange smoke grenade, just like a big orange smoke grenade, and then just people just coming out, sort of like, what's going on here? We're just like, yeah, it's fine, mate. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Absolutely. Oh no, we've lost him again.
Yeah, I know. I've gone. I'm not putting it back on.
Right, I'll just talk to the voices. It's fine.
We'll have your face. There we go. Oh no, wait, wrong
Oh,
face.
fucking hell.
Oh crap. There you go.
Oh, right, here you go. Right, hello, welcome to my live stream.
It's like an interview now. You can just hear my voice.
This is yeah, exactly. This is now I've taken over, and this is my live stream now. I'm running the show from here on. Don't listen to whatever Adrian says. Follow me, ras.pics. You see it in the bottom corner there. Shout me out. Get a load of my work. Anyway, where were we? Yeah. I don't understand either the need to or the ability to stay in London. Brilliant. I love London. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. It's one of the best cities in the world. But God, it's like I can't do too much of it. And I know so many people are the same. It's a busy place, London. London's a very compact, busy place. No matter where you go in London, it's so big, but it's still so compact. It's so urbanized and popular. Yeah,
Because
populated.
I even know a model that was like, I know a model that was literally. She said that she moved here and found that she got very ill, like seriously ill, right?
Yeah.
And then she moved back to her country, and everything was fine. Like literally everything was fine. And then she realized it was the stress and how intense, and she's just like, everyone's not friendly here. Like no one says good mornings. Like no one's just like, do you know what I mean? No one's
holding the door open for you, mate.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Do you know how many times I open a door for people and they just walk through? Like no fact, like do you know what I mean? Just like
yeah.
She literally like she moved back. She went to Manchester and she liked it in Manchester, but she said London. Like every time she stays in a long period of time in London, like she literally just gets ill. I don't know whether it's anxiety or do you know what I mean? But she physically got ill from how fast paced London is.
Yeah, I used to date a girl from a German village of about 800 people. I don't know if you remember. I know we've been mates for a long time, but 800 people
to 2 million.
I mean, that's not even a street in London.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's
like,
a block. That's a council estate. That's literally a council estate. That's a small council estate. 800 people.
I know about 800 people that live on like the Hertford Road or like the or
Yeah.
like a stretch of the A10.
800 people would be a very small and quiet council estate.
She's from like it was. I went and visited a few times. We rode bikes around the village. It was lovely. It was very quaint. It was like a German Hot Fuzz. I don't know if you've ever seen that film.
Oh yeah,
it was beautiful. Right by endless fields, that kind of stuff. And whenever she came here, whenever she used to au pair here, whenever she was here, literally would just it would take such a toll both mentally and physically just being here. And to me, I'm just sort of like, well, I'm used to this. I'm used to having
accustomed to it. But the thing is, when I travel more, I realise the toll it has on me. Because obviously you don't realise until you start going away more. Like when I go away, I lose a bunch of weight and I eat more. I don't get it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all I go abroad for is to taste the food, the restaurants. I shoot for about 3 hours. I'm like, yeah, let's go eat. But I lose weight. Yeah. Like my skin gets so clear and better. 2 days after I've come back.
Hold up. Right, I've got 4%. Do you want me to go plug? Do you want me to plug this in? I might go put my charger in.
Plug yourself in.
Oh, hang on.
We've had so many technical difficulties on this one. I've never had so much technical difficulties on a podcast before. I mean, mine's just literally battery. Well, initially it was battery issued.
It's just batteries, man. It's all just batteries.
Yeah.
I've got a... Hang on. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Okay, we're back.
Wicked.
Yeah, no, as I was saying, yeah, it's the whole of London, literally, man, just it's a beautiful place. But whenever I go abroad, I know it's not that different. I went to New York and lost weight. I did it. I think it's because whenever I go abroad, you're just walking everywhere.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Here, I'm just calling Ubers wherever I go. I was like,
yeah, exactly. Like, end of a shoot, I'm like, nah, I'm not getting back on that train. Uber.
Yeah. No way. I'm literally just like, if you think I'm going anywhere near the fucking Central Line, you are mad.
Exactly. Is that after this long shoot, I'm tired. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Especially if it's a paid job. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking a cab. I'm getting the Uber home right from where my feet are.
Some of your budget is going towards my lift, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nah, I can't. Yeah. But I feel like as well, especially photography in London, it's hard to stay creative because once you've hit all the major spots, it's like, okay, where do you go now? You're just revisiting the same places. Yeah, unless they build something new. Do you know what I mean? Like, but other than that,
imagine them building like all they need to do is just have like a prism as you walk in through the entrance, and then just like all the stereotypical locations. So like you need like an East London street. Like backdrops, and you just have London backdrops. It'd be sweet. And then I honestly think so many London locations, and I'm guilty of doing it myself, are so constantly used. Like, all right, let's play a little game here. Right, I'm gonna name a location, and if you either have shot there yourself or you know of it as a prominent photo location, we'll see it as so obvious of how many locations get used. So, Barbican.
Yeah.
Leek Street Tunnel.
Yeah, I hate Leek Street Tunnel, but go. Yeah.
it's the birthplace of all
meats.
grungy photography. Okay. St Dunstan's in the east. The church.
I actually haven't that one.
But you know it though, right?
Yeah.
You know, this is the point. I'm making my point here.
I've seen it a million times. That's why I thought I'm not even going to bother.
Exactly. You've used so many times that you already know not to use it because your shots will be someone else's work.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same. I mean, there's a reason they ban people from taking photos at Crossrail Gardens.
Where's that?
Don't do this. Don't do this with me, bro. You got to just go with me on this. All right?
If I've seen it, I definitely know. I
Yeah.
definitely would say like I've seen it.
Crossrail Gardens, the Canary Wharf Botanical Gardens.
Oh yeah.
Crossrail. Sorry, did I not describe it? All right, Crossrail Canary Wharf Gardens. Yeah, fine. There.
Yeah, okay,
The
yeah,
reason
definitely.
people
I
taking
was literally there a few weeks ago.
yeah, no, good location though. Good location. I like it.
Literally there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, no, it is. But again, I mean, you remember, you know, when they brought out the selfie factory? Right?
Yeah.
If they did something like that on a professional scale for photographers, there's money to be made. There's money to be made in it. Like everyone's got photo studios, that kind of stuff. But if you built almost like people build skate parks for skaters, you know, if you tailor it for photographers and you build a little location, sweet, people would flock to it. If people got word of it on the London photography scene, all it would take is one photographer to use it, and that'd be it. You'd be sweet. So yeah, well, maybe that's right. Maybe that's what we'll do with this new with this new enterprise that we're building in the meetups. We'll commission a nice photography space as well, you know, because money's no object. Because we're not spending on flights anymore.
The first chance I'm getting, I'm going. But that's the thing. It's weird because I have more connections away than I do here. Like there's pretty much most countries in Europe. I know someone there that I can go shoot.
Yeah.
So it's like if I just want to get a break, I'll just go by myself if I have to, and then just meet up with someone there.
That's the worst thing. The worst thing about it is photography can be such a social activity, and then you're having that taken away, and it just limits you completely. It limits you. This whole thing limits you completely. And again, you can't reach, like you say, all these beautiful places you want to see, all these people, you know, and how are you supposed to be inspired when you can't go anywhere? You know, there's only so much of the place you live in that you can shoot.
Yeah, because even in lockdown, while it was sunny, I was shooting from my house, and obviously my garden and I got some sick stuff. But then it's just like, after the second model, you're like, okay, how can I make this look different? Like the only thing different about this image is the actual model herself.
Yeah, no, literally. There's only so much of like the one corner of my house or my room where the lighting is good that I can use. There's only so much I can do with that, and then, you know, other than that, I don't know. Like I said, I'm lucky to have. I work a lot with nature. You know that most of my work is done in nature, but there's only so much I can do in the same location again.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. But when this is all over,
I think we should try to organize. I mean, for me, it's easy to organize. It's just a simple thing of people booking it, but we definitely organize somewhere abroad and sunny. Like I've been waiting for Morocco to open up. That's like my number one. I love Morocco. Actually, Venice. Venice is easy. For photography, Venice is that's the easiest trip, and it's so small.
It's small, easy to get around, and also every single corner of a street is a location.
Bruh, I go to Venice at least 3 times a year minimum. That's my favorite city, and it's just like, do you know what I mean? It's because it is so unique, especially because the gondolas and everything. Like it's a perfect photo meetup,
especially.
And then the St. Mark's Square, like anyone gets lost, just go back to St. Mark's Square. We'll meet you there. Like it's simple.
Exactly. Whip out Google Maps and start walking back.
Basically.
Yeah. No, I do that, but then like when I was there, I'd end up nearly like in the river in the Grand Canal. I'd be walking, and obviously because it's like basically like a grid system, I literally would be. We'll get to that in a minute. But I'd be like nearly wandering into the canal, but it's Venice is such a beautiful city. And it's so, like you say, it's so unique that it's almost impossible not to have a location there. It's almost sit outside a cafe,
location with a gelato there.
Yeah, exactly. Done. Nice coffee on the go. Done. On the bridge. Done. Literally.
Spaghetti. Pizza.
That's all you got to do. If anyone's listening and you got to go to Venice, that's all you've got to do is you just turn up at a table and you go.
Exactly.
Spaghetti.
exactly. Pizza.
Spaghetti portador. Grazie mille. Mio amico. Amico mio.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what's going on.
But yeah, I think that's on the cards. Like we defo,
Yeah.
that's number one. But yeah, Ben asks how's the jails in Morocco. Pretty accommodating, to be fair. Like jails in Morocco, literally, not too bad. Quite friendly. Um, oh, we lost Ryan. We lost Ryan now. This episode, podcasting guys is an absolute shambles. Don't know where he's gone. Too many technical difficulties. Look what you done, Ben. This is your fault. I bet his laptop died or he didn't plug it in or something. Well, anyway, guys, I think we'll wrap it up there anyway. We'll do another part two. I mean, we're in lockdown. We've got nowhere to go. So we'll definitely expect another one. I forgot what day. I'm losing the days of the week. What day of the week is it? It's Wednesday. But yeah, we'll try to do another one this week as well. So definitely stay tuned, like and subscribe. Definitely follow my Instagram as well if you haven't already. It is, where is it? Right there. Follow it right there. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.